Happy Wednesday to the Tennessee Valley. Just wanted to hop on and give you a little bit of an update about what to expect today and the rest of the week. Of course, we're going to have very warm temperatures continuing. Yesterday we hit 76, 1 degree shy of a record high, but look at these temps again today. Oh, here's a look outside. This is recorded at 7:42. I'm going to be relatively brief today because we have some meetings coming up, but cloudy, dry conditions, not looking at any issues on the roads this morning. Temperatures are going to climb back into the low to mid 70s, especially if we can get some peaks of sunshine. If it stays cloudy most of the day, then we may struggle to get out of the 60s, but I doubt it. Yesterday, the clouds eroded away pretty quickly, and we rose all the way to, 76 in Chattanooga, over 23 degrees above normal. So it's been warm. And as we look at your radar, I know we have rain chances today. Not going to be a washout, but here's a look at what we're dealing with. We're going to have a little disturbance swinging through. That's already starting to spark some showers across Arkansas. That will continue to be the case later today. You'll see more green showing up in places like North Mississippi, West Tennessee, Arkansas, Middle Tennessee, and eventually that all shifts in our direction. Now, there is going to be a little bit of instability. So we have a stationary front to our south, an upper level disturbance swinging through. And those two things together are going to lead to some moisture developing and, of course, the showers and maybe a little bit of severe weather, primarily to our north and west. So the severe threat should stay in places like Nashville, Bowling Green, up through Murfreesboro, Cookeville, Columbia, Tennessee, just off to our northwest. But we're close enough to the fringe of this where we could still, deal with a little bit of stronger storms, especially along the plateau. So as far as rain chances are concerned, we're going to start to see that going up after about 4 or 5 o'clock. Not going to be a widespread washout, but there's going to be some wet weather to contend with, a few thunderstorms possible, and the rain will continue on and off throughout the night. So again, the next 2 days, not going to be a bunch of heavy rain, but there's certainly going to be periods where we have some showers and maybe a few downpours. So here's a look at your storm tracker. We're going to continue with the rain chances through the mid-morning. Just a couple spotty showers by this afternoon. Notice 5 o'clock. This is just one model depiction of what the future radar could look like. So some have more rain, some have less. This is kind of a happy medium. Showers, probably going to be a little more than what this is indicating, but will continue through the evening, which means your commute home from work could have some wet road conditions. So just be mindful of that. Rain continues through this evening. Overnight, still going to be some showers around. Notice Thursday, 6:30, still a little bit of rain here across the Tennessee Valley. So tomorrow morning, likely to have some wet roads on your commute. That's just something to be mindful of. And then on and off, we'll have some showers throughout the day on Thursday. Shouldn't be anything especially heavy, but, it's just something that's more of a nuisance. And then by Friday morning, a lot of this tapers off. So the next 24 to 48 hours, which will take us through early Friday, just going to be some on and off showers. Rain potential through that period, not going to be overly impressive. I think 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 of an inch, kind of the baseline. There's going to be a few areas that pick up a little bit more, a few that pick up a little bit less, but again, not going to be a big time washout, at least in the short term. Now, next week could be a different story. So we're going to have a very active southerly branch of the jet stream. A lot of moisture going to be pushing in from the Gulf, which means a lot of rain coming our way. Sunday morning, Super Bowl Sunday, going to have a little bit of rain showing up as a front drops to the south. That's also going to help to cool temperatures down a little bit. It's not going to be a big shot of Arctic air. I know I've seen some things floating around the internet like, oh, big shot of cold air coming our way. Not really. It's going to be cooler, yes, but really closer to seasonal normals for this time of the year. Rain continues throughout the day on Sunday, probably tapering off a little bit during the afternoon and evening. And then by Monday, we're going to be tracking our next round of showers. And early next week, that's when we could have some heavier rain. So Monday afternoon and evening, those yellows and reds indicating where there could be some heavier rain here across the Tennessee Valley. So Fort Payne, Chattanooga, Athens, pretty much the entire area. And that will continue throughout the evening. And then Tuesday, we'll have more rain coming in as a front approaches. On the northern end, we can kind of zoom out. There could be a pretty big winter storm coming from places like Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana. And another thing, I was seeing the chance for maybe a little bit of wintry weather here middle of next week. Not going to be cold enough, just not going to be cold enough here across the southeast. But places like D.C., New York, Boston, Columbus, Ohio, St. Louis could get a decent amount of snow. But we're going to be on the rainy side of this. And with this, there is the chance we have a little bit of strong storm activity on Tuesday. So I'll keep an eye on that. But look at that. Could be a good snow for places like New York, Boston, Philadelphia, I-95 corridor. We'll keep an eye on that. But for us, should just be a little bit, a lot of bit of rain Monday and Tuesday. So here's a look at your potential rainfall over the next 7 days. 2 to 3 to maybe 4 inches. And that's just through what today is Wednesday. So this would be through late Tuesday. And then it looks like the pattern is going to stay active. So this is just the next 7 days. We could have even more through the middle and end of February, because it does appear that we're going to have a very active pattern taking shape, across the Tennessee Valley. So wet conditions looking pretty likely all the way through Valentine's Day and potentially beyond. So we have a drought. It's been dry. We're running a rainfall deficit for the year already. We ran one last year, and extreme and severe drought conditions are showing up in places like Altamont, Dayton, Athens, Cleveland. Moderate drought conditions for Fort Payne, Scottsboro, Chattanooga. Dry, but not necessarily drought conditions for Dalton, Murphy, and Blue Ridge. But again, this is going to change a lot over the next couple of weeks, and probably by the end of February, the drought conditions are really going to start to erode here across the Tennessee Valley. So that's one good thing about the rain. Yes, it's going to make for some dreary days, but hey, just remember we need it, especially going into springtime. Here's a look at your next 7 days temperature-wise. So tomorrow's record high for the day is 70. We're likely to break that. The record high on Saturday is 76, so we could tie or break that. It's going to be a very warm day. Pig day of the weekend is going to be Saturday, because, of course, Sunday, which is Super Bowl Sunday, well, a lot of you probably going to be inside watching the game anyway. We will have the rain, and then Monday and Tuesday after that front comes through, yes, it will be cooler, but not cold enough for any winter weather. So talking more about the temperatures now, below normal, trying to sneak in over the next 8 to 14 days. Again, probably going to stay just to our north and west, at least the coldest air. And keep in mind, by the middle of the month, our averages are in the mid-50s. So technically, like 50 to 51 degrees would be below normal. So that'll be an interesting trend. And then over the next 6 to 10 days, that ridge going to kind of flex its muscles, which means warmer air likely to stay bottled up into the southeast, while it's much cooler with the potential for some winter weather across the northern tier of the country. So as we kind of take a look at the upper level charts, this gives us an idea of what it may be like at the surface, where you see those deep oranges. That usually indicates higher heights or some upper level ridging. That's what we're going to see pretty much centered over us on Saturday, which is why we're going to see near record temperatures. Colder air bottled up into the Pacific Northwest. We get that mild regime out of the Pacific, that flow coming in, plus some flow from the Gulf of Mexico, just going to make for a warm and kind of active period of weather. And then the cold air is on the move by the 11th of February, but we're still seeing that ridge kind of hanging out across the southeast, kind of moving off to the east a little bit. But then it starts to flex muscles again, and we're going to continue with that Pacific flow with some southeast ridging through the 18th. So I don't see any big shots of cold air coming our way over the next 2 weeks. Is winter over? Absolutely not. But at least in the short term and even medium term, I'm thinking most of the cold air and winter weather potential going to stay just to our south, or just to our north. So again, that's something kind of keep an eye on over the next little bit. But conditions favoring warmer than normal through much of the month. I mean, even as we cool down through Valentine's Day, it's still going to be a little bit cooler. But of course, we'll keep an eye on that. No big shots of cold air coming. And as we take a look at your potential snowfall through Valentine's Day, this is the GFS ensemble. The southeast not looking good, but if you head up the road in places like Kentucky, Ohio, the mid-Atlantic and northeast, that's where you're going to have a better chance of seeing some snow. Probability of 1 inch of snow through the 20th. This takes us almost through the third week of February. Maybe the northern part of Tennessee at some point gets a little winter weather, but it's just not looking all that good here across the Tennessee Valley. But again, here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Then I'm going to wrap this video up. Plenty of rain chances coming. We're going to have some warm weather through Saturday into Sunday. And then early next week, we're talking heavy rain with cooler temperatures in the 50s. So that's just a quick summary of what you can expect for your Wednesday and beyond. We'll talk more about this tomorrow, but have a great day.